really want Hildebrand's team to go 3 DDs because I know how that turns out.
I think you guys should at least read us through your lineups. Oh, sad face, you didn't get your wish.
What is that cruiser?
Which one?
Is that a cheese?
That's a
golden Lee.
That's a Howden Liu. That's the Dutch tier 10 cruiser, the Golden Line.
So it's cheese. Gotcha. Right.
Yeah.
It's got air bombs.
The fake carrier weapons.
I'm very confused as to why my team has brought a Golden Liu.
I mean,
you know what?
On this
map, I think you're gonna understand before long.
I think I know why they've done it, but it's still the case of they were together and someone suggested it.
Well, we'll
and
find
it
out.
wasn't immediately laughed at.
Take us through your lineups, boys.
Go ahead, I'll tell you later.
So, my guy, you go first, Farrah?
Oh my goodness! Rock, paper, scissors.
That doesn't work. We can't see each other.
Green, go. Green, go.
Same crap. Montana, Venezia, Napoli, Moskva, Nevsky. It's what it is. Gearing, and instead of a Ragnar, we went daring. And if we're watching the ship compositions, it looks like we're actually going with the 4-3 split again, because the daring Napoli is going off to one side, and the Moskva is not too sure yet. We'll see how this plays out.
Yes, and then my guys are bringing a Schlieffen, the Guden, the Moskva, the Nevsky, the Petropavlovsk, the Gearing, and the Ragnar.
And it looks like everybody's behaving like it's almost a semi-random, wobbling around and trying to figure where to go.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out for me because Farah's team did this against Farah's team played this map against Angels. Angels team against a Schlieffen, right? And we're seeing some of that kind of developing here again as well.
That's right. So it's the same 4-3 split. So the Gearing, Nevsky, Venezia going to Charlie was the same thing that happened last time. And then the Napoli, Daring, Moskva with Montana in the center was a remainder. I'm interested to see what your Schlieffen's doing. Because yes, I can see your Moskva's gone for A. A little bit behind on cap time. I don't know how the Moskva's going to play out, whether or not he's going to try and get guns on C, or if he's just going to focus only on B. And I don't know what the Schlieffen's going to do. Is he in Overwatch in that middle section so he can look at A and fire over to C?
It depends, because when we were playing Malta on this map, they pushed the Schlieffen from A to B. But because of that big island between the two caps, you are forced to give broadside to something if something goes like up the 5 line or where the Monty's sitting.
But you definitely have more firepower, it feels. Yeah, you've got a 5-on-3 at the moment on Charlie.
It's when the teams realize that that's the case.
Yeah, that's always a big thing, is figuring out which side is the weak side.
Early radar from Blood Legend picking up Damon's Ragnar there on the bottom end of the cap. Good salvo.
I mean, if there's one thing you can rely on, it's Blood Legend knows what he's doing.
He should do. He works for him. Works for him.
He overshot that salvo. Damon pulled the handbrake, but he's going to take a few out of that one for sure. Down to almost half.
Yeah, he's suffering.
Monty Salvo's overshot. Might have overpinned him through the stern there. Nevsky just now putting up the hydro, seeing those torpedoes come in.
He's got to watch for that Veni sap salvo. That could almost end a Ragnar in one go.
It's interesting. The radar has basically stopped your entire 5-ship push into C, and yet somehow our 3 plus Montana have got control.
I think they're kind of biding their time until the Petro gets into position. That's what I think is happening. Yes. Very similar to the way we see people play Tears of the Desert. You slow play the off cap until you get control of that kind of outer island in the top left corner. I think you're seeing a similar sort of thing here, getting that Petro into position.
Is totally out of play though, in the sense that he might reverse and you'll be able to see Nevsky at the moment. Maybe that's what he's doing, but hello.
I think it's more a sense that if your team want to take A, they have to brawl the Schlieffen.
Wow.
Our Mr. Cat's going to get wrecked here because it's 5-on-1.
Yeah. The blind fire coming in on the Nevsky.
But Farah's Montana is in a central position, is shooting, but the Schlieffen is not really doing very much.
The Schlieffen, I think he's there to prevent a push, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Cat's going out.
Yep.
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah, the Ragnar radar securing it.
Now Damon's just got to get in cover because you don't want to pick a fight with a Nevsky.
that has long-term ramifications now because the Ragna's radar, I think, is that picking up the Nevsky?
Well, the Guden is attempting to bomb him.
Or something sees him anyway.
And actually hit him.
Did hit him with a few bombs there.
That's a double fire.
Got the stern fire,
needs to back out because his smoker is gone. So it's pretty big importance. Plus, it means that they're not going to have any chance really pushing on Charlie.
No. This gives us solid control of C. And, like I said, maybe forces your daring Napoli to make a play.
So this comes back to what I was saying. What I think you're seeing with the Schlieffen is they sold the farm. Their strat is get C, own C, force them to try to push to A, and when they do, guess what's waiting for them? A big fat Schlieffen.
They're not really in a position to push A, so they've got
they're
daring.
They're not right now.
The Monty's turning around. The Moskva obviously won't take too long to get going, so I think we're going to see a slow shift of both teams moving ships up to the AB line.
The Monty's more than 4 map squares away from the daring. He's going to take a long time to get around.
He doesn't have to get there. He can cut the difference and sort of go where the Moskva is. But to make that play, you have to fight the Schlieffen in the realm where the Schlieffen is strongest. And you'd never want to fight you rarely want to fight a fair fight. You don't want to go into a fight where the enemy has significant advantages.
So
Okay, hot loads in the Napoli is spotted broadside to the Schlieffen, having to turn out.
Yeah, but German dispersion doesn't care about that.
Yeah, Napoli just doesn't die.
Moskva is now the target of the Howden bombs.
They are dropping. He's going to land some of these across the stern. Gets a fire.
Yeah, if they go across you, it's not too bad.
I think what we're seeing with the Howden Liu is a bit of a reaction to how teams have been playing this map with the big stationary Moskvas and Russian cruisers, right? And that's a good tool to use to either punish them or potentially force them to move.
Is Silver's got to run these torps, and they don't know they're there? Will he end up taking a few? Or are they slightly too far ahead?
I think
they're a little too far ahead. Yeah, they're too far ahead.
Well, that's risky though, coming on the inside, because it means that basically, the Petra, the Nevsky, the Ragnar, they can all lay into.
Yeah, and also the Howden Liu is getting around towards the nose of the Montana, which means it can drop the bombs long ways.
They're
the length of the Montana. They're
continuing to blind fire the Nevsky in there. There was a good hit. They keep blind firing him and punishing him in smoke.
Hot loads on the flank is down to 8-5.
Ooh, someone must have hit him pretty hard.
Yeah, probably the Schlieffen.
Your Venezia Taiho is counter pushing.
Hot loads' smoke is ready. I'm not sure why he wouldn't use it, but he's not.
Daring's thinking. So Moskva's going to block the cap, but the Guden could just start bombing him. Monty's got his heal running. His damage control is active.
Sure, how we're supposed to make the kill here because.
Schlieffen's going. Schlieffen's going for it.
Yeah, but Napoli's down from hot loads.
Yeah. And his smoke is still sitting there unused. I'm not sure why you wouldn't at least pop it and buy yourself some more time, but he didn't.
I think he was too close to the Moskva to make it worthwhile.
Now that is possible.
Hit? I think it's Montana. The Schlieffen's just going to make the Moskva around the Montana. Game done.
Yeah, I think the hit there with the torps and a ram on them. Actually, you might just torpedo both of them.
Torps on one side, torps on the other side.
Torps on the other. He's going for the double.
Torps for everyone.
Meanwhile,
very generous.
Petra and Venezia are having a ram off.
He gets a double strike.
Wow, the double strike.
Good work from my Schlieffen.
And this is all a snowball.
It approves of the W.
Yeah. This all is a result of that gearing kill because it basically means they have to rotate.
In a competitive game should do damage.
Yes.
Not going to get any argument.
I don't think I can disagree, but
I mean, friendly torp should do damage in all modes.
So this play by probably Blood calling it and the counter push. This is all because putting hard countered Ninja Taihos right at the beginning, 5 versus 3, caught the destroyer. The destroyer still committed onto sea, and once the destroyer went in, that means they lost their smoke for the Nevsky, they lost their ability to power play on the sea, and they had to make a counter play, and then that just all fell apart from there. So this worked really well into PUDDI's game plan.
The Guden was a good pick. I'm curious who suggested it.
I'm curious what his damage is.
I will ask him that in the chat.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I mean, the guns on that ship are not bad, right? So that's why I'm just genuinely curious.
Oh no, is this going to be the ultimate?
No, the game's going to end before those bombs land.
Over.
Yeah, the game's over.
Oh, they can't reach it anyway.
No, they can't. Yeah. Oh, they're too far away. Yeah.
Right. So next map, Tears of the Desert,
Here, look.
with PUDDI in the lead. Right then.
Be interesting to see what happens now, because I'm not a fan of when Ninja Taihos go 4-3. I always feel that their best setup is when they go 5-2. Because in a 5-2, the two are deliberately not pushing anyway. One of them is doing Overwatch, like a Mossfa or something, doing Crossfire, and the other one is just basically defending, your own home cap. So you're expecting them to come to run away, so you're not going to get caught like a destroyer and destroyed. And then your 5 that do go into the offensive on the push. Well, it's not 3, it's 5. Plus you've got the Mossfa Overwatching on 6. It just feels like a better way of playing.
I think you're right. I mean, the games that I've seen today that your team has played really well has been that 5-2 split, more or less.